today on the spot, Colby Garza, I have my wife, Jenny Garza. She's going to ask me random questions that I have no idea what they're about.
Yeah. Just here to let people get to know you a little more. So
Sounds good.
let's dive in.
This should be fun. No, it's really
No
kicked
pressure.
on. Yeah,
No
it's really
pressure.
kicked on.
Okay. First question, I guess, would be, so we all know that you're an entrepreneur, mainly in real estate is, your driving force. But what is it that drives you year after year in such an ever-changing industry? What keeps you going?
I would say y'all.
Oh.
The family aspect and just, moving here, totally different market. I guess kind of not even proving others wrong, but more of myself wrong
Mhm.
and seeing how I can adapt and learn, the different market and also, waking up and y'all are not telling me that I'm crappy at this. So that helps.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
We believe in you.
Yeah.
As far as like just professional, friends, romantic relationships in general, what quality do you believe is 100% crucial to have?
Ooh, I would say trust. Because at the end of the day, like, you and I'll shoot you 100 ideas, 10,000 ideas, whatever the case is. And I trust what you say, and if you think it's a good idea, you're going to tell me. And if you think it's a bad idea, you're going to tell me. And then also, with the friends that I've made throughout these last few years, I trust their word as well.
Yeah.
So I think trust.
Yeah.
Trust for
I have to agree with that. Like for us in our relationship, I just think back to like what made our relationship different from any previous relationship I had or anything like that. And it was just that from the start, I could trust you. I trusted you with our future. I trust you with our finances. I can trust you as a father. Like it was just this internal feeling I got from you. And so I agree. I think trust is crucial to any relationship that's going to work or last. And same thing though in business or like in your work. I'm in the medical field and I have to trust that my doctors that I work for are doing the right thing for my patients that I care so much about, So that's good.
I agree.
Good answer.
Good.
Here's a fun one.
Fun one.
In our past life, aka pre-baby, pre-Asher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Who do you think was more outgoing?
Between you and I?
Yeah.
Oh.
This is tough. I don't really have an answer, I guess.
I would say
yours is.
you.
Okay.
I think I gravitated more towards like a certain person, certain people.
Yeah.
And I feel like you, whenever we'd like meet up for brunch or like say like, Marcel, he's probably gonna watch this. Like, but like Marcel and Megan are two different people.
Yeah.
But somehow in some way you made that like work where I never really had like that polar opposite. It was more of just like, this is the type of people I hang out with and this is it. So you'd have to be outgoing, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I definitely had more energy then.
Yeah.
So I was excited to just meet everybody.
Yeah.
But you're right. I like that, looking back, I do have friends from very different sides of introvert to extrovert. I think you're more extroverted.
For sure.
But because I have both, it makes me like outgoing to everybody.
I think the fitness too, like the studio really opened you up as well, right?
Yeah,
you've dealt with, how many people in one class? Like 50?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got to see like a lot.
Yeah. I always thought I was outgoing, but then I was asked to be a fitness instructor, and it changes how you look at yourself when you're the one in the front in a mirror with a microphone telling 50 people what to do. Like they're trusting you and you're just like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There goes trust again. So.
Yeah. There you go. Bringing it all together. I like that. Yeah. Yeah. I think your outgoing really picked up when we started working on social media, videos, things like that. Like you used to be very monotone in your videos. Like you're very outgoing and different with people, and then all of a sudden you get on video and I was like, who am I dating? This is it was
Aruba. Yeah.
yeah, it was kind of scary. So you've come so far. I'm so proud of you. What advice would you give to entrepreneurs, spouses, or partners about the hours, the schedule, the cell phone time, screen time? What would you give? I know we still not struggle with it, but like go back and forth on it.
Yeah.
Like
There's always a situation, right?
Right. Like I want you to be more present right now. And you're like, I have 3 clients texting me. I can't be, and it's just a balance. But what kind of advice would you give to those spouses, living kind of behind the entrepreneur?
Yeah, I think you got to set not even a boundary, but more of like hey, this is where we stop it and this is where we start it, but I think I have to have you say something because I get so wrapped up and like I'm in my head, like at my desk working on this. I'm not like in the living room on a recliner and Asher's in front of us watching TV. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think whenever you're like, hey, I snap out of it and then I realize like, oh, it's been on my phone for like, 15 minutes?
Yeah.
And I was there like working, so I think setting the boundary, but not making it to where like whenever we have dinner and if I'm talking to a client or doing something real fast, you're never like slam my phone down on the table and like,
I might start.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
Stop talking. You're just like, hey, I was like, oh my God. But I don't think I'm ever like, hey, I got to do this right now. Okay. Or like, I'm like, okay, let me get this done real fast. And then, whatever the case is. But yeah, it's definitely it's a balance that I don't think anyone has it figured out. Like even like the billionaires and, the people are just startups or, Jeff Bezos, like there's really no one that has a balance to it.
I think like what I'm getting from what you're saying though, the key here is communication. Like talking about it and saying, hey, I need this time to get these things done. Or when we are at dinner and you say, this is a client calling, you like point like this is I have to take this right now and stepping away so that it's not changing or interrupting like what's happening at the table. Like you go, you take care of it, you come back. I think that's been really helpful is just communicating your needs of like, I need 3 hours to get this stuff done.
Yeah.
Great. Awesome. Go into the office, go to the room shut the door. But like that way it's not me feeling resentful because we're on the couch trying to have family time or hanging with Asher and you're like, I'm like, he just hit a ball. You missed it. It was like we can separate those milestones and that fun time and family time from it. So it's a struggle.
Yeah.
It's a power struggle. It really is.
Yeah.
But I get it because, I get lost on my phone just not working.
Yeah.
And you're like, what just happened to the last 30 minutes? Like, where are we?
Get down a rabbit hole.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that was great. Okay, let's see. Here's another one that I'm kind of curious about. We talk about it, but this will be a good way to get the answer out permanently.
The real answer.
You're a runner.
Yeah.
Something that a lot of people don't understand. Like, I love fitness and I love all of teaching classes, and some people don't understand that. But I still don't understand why people run for fun. But you take it to the next level and do what's called ultra running. What is it about ultra running that brings you actual joy?
For sure. I don't think there's any joy to it.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of if you follow me, I lost my brother in 2020, and that's what led me to running.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's just like the time that I get to talk to him.
Yeah.
And like you're kind of just you're out there, middle of nowhere. You're hurting. I'm running in the middle of a mountain or a hill or whatever the case is. I've never ran, and it's kind of just like you learn how to have that conversation with the person because you're in pain as well, but like that pain will never come close to like the pain of losing someone,
right?
So it's more of like your endorphins then start popping up and you start smiling. So there's nothing there's nothing fun about it. But then also whenever you cross the finish line, you're like, oh my God, I just ran 50 miles.
Yeah.
Which
what an accomplishment.
Yeah, and you see behind the scenes where people think I train like day and night, and I just tell my family to screw off. Go for these runs.
Yeah.
And there's some times where, you know, we're sitting on the kitchen table where you're like, what do you think about this run? And I'll just be like, I don't know if I'm going to finish it. I'm going to try.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah. And then also you get like cool, like your toenails fall off and.
That's really cool. That's really cool. There should be a whole other podcast about spouses and partners supporting runners. Yeah. That's for another day.
Yeah. That's for another day. Another day time.
Yeah. Bringing it back to like a little bit of the real estate, I guess, but regarding Western New York and the area in general, because, you know, we spend a lot of time in Buffalo and a lot of your connections are in Buffalo, especially real estate wise. But we do live in a quote unquote suburb. Not really a suburb. I feel like Hamburg's a suburb, but I feel like we're further out. We're in like Dunkirk, Fredonia area. Yeah. So just regarding the Western New York and like Dunkirk, Fredonia area for us, what have you found comfort in here? After moving here from a totally different place, like you moved from a big city, you grew up in a big city, different state, very different politics, very different mindset. What did you find comfort in here, or how did you feel like or have you had a moment where you're like, wow, I do feel comfortable here, and this is kind of what led me to feeling that way?
I would say the community. You know, whenever I started Homestead series, it was like, well, Jesse, you know, from Chief's Barber, he kind of just opened the doors for me, and then all of a sudden you start to realize everyone has the same mentality as far as, hey, come in, open arms. Yeah. Where you don't really get that in a big city unless you know someone. Yeah. You don't just like knock on people's door and they let you in. Yeah. So I think that was a major influence. Yeah. And even now, I'll talk about Buffalo to anybody and everybody because of that community aspect.
Yeah, I do feel like that first, we were so excited to go to that barbershop. Like, we didn't really know anybody, but we're like, oh my God, Josh Allen, like, this is the greatest part. Like, this, we were just so excited, you know, and honestly, so much more came from that. And it's like that portion of what came from that small piece of community is like, that part's kind of like on the back burner. It's like that isn't even part of why you love going there. You know, it's like he showed so much hospitality to both of us just walking in that door. And I really do feel like that says a lot for Buffalo. So many people are like that. And I knew that from growing up here, but I'm just so happy to hear that coming in from the outside, you felt that way.
Yeah.
Too.
I mean, even the first, like, you know, I was asking about the restaurants because we just moved here.
It was like, a few weeks in.
Yeah, a few weeks in. And everyone was saying, you know, how crappy it was out here, that, you know, people are just been here their entire life. And then he sent me that list of like 30 restaurants that were upscale and nice. And
like immediately in the middle of his workday.
Yeah, literally like after he left, I was like, hey, man, send over the list when you can. Boom, sent it over. And I'm like, no one would have done that, you know? Yeah. No one would have done that. Yeah. So.
All right.
So community.
Yeah. I love that. I'll ask 2 more questions. Sound good?
Sounds great.
What do you, maybe 3.
Okay.
Real quick. What do you miss about Texas and secretly wish that we had here?
Oh, what do I miss? I'm going to say the most generic response.
I feel like I know what this is going to be. But come on, bring it.
What is it going to be?
No, bring it.
You love the place.
I love the place?
Yeah, you love the place.
Ooh. There's a lot of love about Texas.
A Whataburger.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what
I'm sorry, Western New York. You're not missing out.
I wish they had a Whataburger.
If you like burgers that smell like feet. Oh. Anyways, next. I'm happy for you, but that's a terrible answer. I just think like any Mexican food. Yeah. I want anyone who owns a Mexican restaurant that believes they have better Mexican than Texas to
reach out.
Pipe up in the comments.
Yes.
Let us know. We'll come and we will.
I would say Mikasan just because that's where we first dated.
First date.
You know,
yeah.
I would say met, but we didn't meet there. Our first date.
Yeah, and where we got engaged.
Yeah.
So I would just love a Miko scene.
Like to bring it home
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
feel like it would be like enough to not me having to go home.
Yeah.
You know, just
I
like,
agree.
so
I agree.
I'll say meet a casino.
Okay, great. Better answer.
Better.
For the people of West New York, much better answer.
Yeah.
They deserve a me casino.
Yeah.
If there is one thing you could say or tell the people who sit around and scroll through Zillow for years on end, and people who like HGTV watchers, you know, people who are really interested in real estate and want to keep looking at it and keep seeing what's in the market, and like, what would you say to them? What's like one thing you would say to them as far as real estate in a whole, like those people who don't get out of the Zillow app?
Yeah. Are they just looking like personally, or are they just like, they just like want to look at Zillow, or what do you?
Yeah.
Like, why are you looking at Zillow?
I don't know. I like this to see the possibilities, like what's out there, what's new, what is available in the area.
Yeah.
How much is it going for? Can I afford that? You know, like,
Yeah.
what are these homes that are a little out of reach, but what could I do to get there? You know, it's like just a constant feeling. It's like Instagram for me. I just, I want to see inside everyone's house.
Yeah, you want to see what's new out there too.
Yeah.
I mean, the only I would say reach out to a realtor.
Yeah.
And I know everyone's like, well, I'm not ready to buy.
Mm-hmm.
And I've said this before, and I'll tell this to anyone. It doesn't matter when you're ready to buy.
Yeah.
Maybe it could be a newsletter like, hey, these are the homes that we've seen,
Mm-hmm.
or I could put you on an auto search, or I could just send you homes throughout the week.
Yeah.
So then it's more tangible.
Yeah.
Versus like, I feel like some apps will only show you what you've been looking at because it hits the algorithm.
Yeah.
Versus like maybe build a relationship and, hey, why don't you go? Zillow can't let you in a house, right?
Right.
You have to have a realtor to let you in a house.
Yeah.
So at that point, wouldn't you like to cut the middleman out and kind of go to the realtor?
Yeah.
So that's what I would suggest. And if a realtor tells you they're wasting their time, then that is what it is.
Yeah.
But, you know, find someone, maybe a friend or a family member that is one, or whatever.
Yeah.
Or find someone that's okay to do it.
Right.
Show you homes.
Well, I think too, like for us, one of the things we've always said is like, even if maybe affording that really expensive dinner isn't like what we should be spending money on right now.
Yeah.
But going and doing it allows you to feel it and what it's like, and like tap your finger on it and say, wow, this is what I want.
Yeah.
This is where I want to be. Because then it helps you work harder on the back end.
I agree.
So maybe like getting into that, you know, my budget's only $300,000, but I want to see what it feels like to be in a $750,000 house.
Yeah.
What does it have that I want, and what in that house is going to make me feel something?
Yeah.
So like, hey, I want to see that house. This is where I'm at. And then connect me to a lender and see what do I have to maybe reach this, or where's that, you know, that way you at least know, well, I'll get the $300,000 house with the granite countertops that like made me feel something.
Yeah.
But maybe the upgraded bathroom doesn't come with it, but we could get there someday, you know?
Yeah. And I think that shows you too, like, as far as like, you know, talking to a lender, like some people don't know what they're pre-approved for at all.
Yeah.
Or don't know the steps,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and maybe Zillow can be that gap to where you do reach out to a realtor and a lender.
Yeah.
Because someone might think their budget's $150 and not realize it's $400,
right?
You know, or even payment wise, or or maybe even go to an open house and see that house down the street, because maybe that's what you're looking for. Same school district, same community.
Yeah.
I think just go out there and look for yourself.
Yeah.
But obviously,
get educated.
If you're gonna be scrolling, then scroll and go to Texas and Arizona and check out my houses in Miami or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say just make the call.
Make the call.
And see what happens.
Start the process.
Yeah, start the process.
That's the best thing you can do. Start the process, because then at least you're towels in the ring. Like, let's at least get this going. See what's at.
100%.
All right. The most important question, and there's only one.
Most important question?
There's only one right answer.
Oh.
So.
Oh, Jesus.
Don't screw this up.
Yeah.
You ready? Who's the greatest quarterback of all time?
Oh, Josh Allen. Come on.
I love
Everyone in Dallas is going to kill me. You just want a target on my back.
Hey, Buffalo, I did my job. I turned a Texan into a Bills fan within 6 months of meeting him, and Great answer.
Well, that's a whole nother thing though too. It's like whenever we first were not even thinking about moving here or even like
Yeah.
remotely close
Yeah.
to moving here, that tailgate that we went to,
Yes.
we got there and everyone's doing the bowling ball shot,
Yes.
launch onto tables.
Yeah.
You have Pinto Ron getting splashed with ketchup and mustard.
Yes.
But everyone was so hospitable. Like, hey, you want a beer? Hey, you want a hot dog? You want a hamburger?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even think we had beer in our hand at that point because
No.
it was like a last minute thing, right?
Yes.
Something happened how we got those tickets. But
Mm-hmm. You couldn't like buy beer before noon or something at that time. Something was
yeah,
we were like,
it was something
we're
crazy.
just gonna go and see what happens. We'll pay people for beer. If we
Yeah,
have to. Yeah.
and no one would take the money. I'm like, dude, here's $5. You're like, nah, dude, just have some beer, whatever. And it just like spoke volume of like the community, especially because you have a bunch of drunk people.
Yeah.
And how are everyone's smiling and not getting in fights, and it almost seems fake, right?
Yeah.
Like typically at a football game when a bunch of drunk people are gonna be fighting, here they're like, hey, you want a hot dog? Hey, you want some beer? And I'm like, wait, what?
There's just something about like everyone having love for one thing. And here the Bills just do it for us. The Sabres the same way, but like just coming together and like having love for the one thing, and everyone wants the same thing at that same time.
Yeah.
Same day, same place, same moment. Like every time that ball launches out of his hand, like we're all praying for the same thing to happen, And so it's like it's just powerful in numbers, and it's an experience. I told you.
Yeah, and also like go Bills.
Mm-hmm.
Like
as it's like aloha. It's like how you say hello and goodbye.
Yeah. Just walk, like you drop off our son at daycare, like go Bills, and it's just like go Bills, and leaving, go Bills, go Bills, and I have a question for you though.
Oh no.
So
okay,
all right, you ready?
I'm ready.
What is it like being married to someone like myself? I'm not gonna put anything on there.
Okay.
Because I'm not gonna say entrepreneur because obviously everyone has different, but
yeah. You as a person, like your personality, the way you love and care so much about people and everything around you makes it really easy to love you. And that's why I fell in love with you in the first place. Like like I said, I just knew I could trust you. I don't know what it was. I had come out of a relationship where I would lost trust in the world. And I don't know, I just had this internal feeling that like you were going to make sure no matter what that we were okay, I was okay, our life would be okay. So that part is really easy to love. The part that's like to get used to
yes.
is the work aspect. Like
sure.
We're both very driven to do what we need to do, but like our brains work very differently. But that's why it works, right? Like you are very entrepreneurship like driven. Like you will work all day and all night to make things happen and work. We're like there's service in what you do, but like I am more service driven. Like I'm a dental hygienist. I'm in nursing school. I want to take care of people. I just want to love, cuddle. I want everyone to be healthy and happy and okay, Yeah. And so they're just different ways of taking care of people. But mine is more like from 9 to 5 or 12 to 12. And then after that, I'm like, I have no emails. I'm like free. I want to like hang out, go for a walk, where I've had to get, and it doesn't make you harder to love. It just makes it harder to like get on the same page some days. And it's just, it's just a learning curve. It's not that it's harder or easier. It's not that I love you more or less at different times. It's just that makes it definitely more of a journey
for sure
to ride. Like, what are we getting today? How much are we working? What time? Will he be present at 7 p.m.? I don't know. He might be on 3 phone calls, or will he, so I think that's just the navigating and learning to navigate that, communicating through that. But really, honestly, like us creating a strong foundation from the start.
Yeah, definitely.
Learning to communicate, learning to express feelings, learning to, get on the same page has made it a lot easier as far as the harder times when you're like, I'm just frustrated because you're not doing what I'm asking. But like, I also am asking you to like build me a new bathroom, which takes money, and so you're working to make money, and I'm like, no, I want, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's
I need the
just,
floors
it's
cleaned.
just, yeah, it's it's
Yeah.
all a game, but no, I mean, I think through and through, you're very easy to love,
I appreciate
and
that. Likewise.
and everybody you meet feels the same way, and you're gonna have people that don't love you or don't love me and don't love us, and that's fine too, but I think the people who have stuck around you and do invest into you as a person, not just a realtor or just a runner, like people who really invest to you and your family, are a testament to your character and how easy it is to love you.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's very nice of you.
Thanks.
So I guess that wraps it up then.
Wraps it up.
Well,
We're here on the spot.
on the spot.
You put me on the spot. Not fair.
See, maybe that is. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
I like
Find
it.
out.
I like it.
All right. Well,
Here we go.
Jenny, wifey, thank you again, and welcome to On the Spot with Colby Garza.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.